Go ahead, please. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so hi everybody. My name is Abisola Yetunde, and I'm also a data analyst. I have a background in the financial sector. So thank you so much, Green Data Solution. Thank you so much, Chisom, for giving me the opportunity to facilitate this session. So so basically, a brief intro about what we do at Green Data Solution. So Green Data Solution, which I believe we are all aware, we are committed to catalyzing green environmental actions and healthy living across Africa based on sustainable utilization of reliable energy. Yeah, our vision is to empower sustainable future through data-driven environmental and health insights. And our core value to go, which is the climate action and zero hunger. This project, which we are all here to discuss about, is based on addressing climate changes that challenges that challenges agriculture, that also impacts our food security and sustainable agriculture in Africa. The objective of this datathon that we are talking about today is to determine and analyze how rising temperatures and unpredictable weather pattern affect crop yields and agricultural productivity across African countries. So I believe we are all prepared, and we have 5 amazing presenters for today. I have here with me Kenneth, Deborah, Kanyi Soye. I'm so sorry, forgive me. I'm trying to pronounce your name correctly. I believe those names I'm calling are on this call currently. Please, you can unmute yourself and let me know that you're on the call. Oluwarotimi Fadiyimu, yes. Thomas Abiodun and James Isaac. Are we on the call, please? So you can kindly unmute yourself in 3 seconds. Let me know you're on the call.
Oluwarotimi Fadiyimu, yes, speaking.
Awesome. So what about the other people? Please
Thomas
kindly.
Abiodun.
Okay, awesome. Amazing. Okay, 3 more people, please.
I am here, Kenneth Onwiko.
Awesome. Okay, 2 other persons. Okay, so since 3 of us are on the call, and I think we can still go on with that. So quickly, we'll be bringing in our keynote speaker. We'll be discussing the role of data in climate action and sustainable agriculture. So the next person who will come and speak to us is our founder, who is in person of Chisom. Chisom, please forgive me. I'm not sure I can pronounce your surname properly. So let's give it up for Chisom. Chisom, you're welcome to take the mic. You can unmute yourself, and your time to start speaking start now. So in this section, we're going to be focused on our timing and our presenters. I need you to get prepared. You're going to have 10 minutes each to make your presentation. Tell us about what you've done. Tell us your challenges. And I need you to anticipate questions from our audience, because we're going to ask you questions and you're going to put us through what you have done. Okay, Chisom, please, you can have the mic.
Okay, hi everyone. Good afternoon. I am trying to share my screen. Oh, I cannot even minimize to share. Okay, sorry. So please, if you can. Yeah, I'm trying to share my screen.
Okay, I guess it's still coming up. We are not yet seeing it. It's still coming up. Okay, your screen is up. You're on the meetings view.
Sorry, guys. Can you see anything?
Yes, your screen is up.
Sorry, what can you see?
Green Data Solution Global Datathon. Other people, please, you can confirm for us if you can also see our screen, please.
All right, thank you very much. I won't
We can
waste.
see it. We can see it.
All right, thank you. I won't waste much of our time because Abisola has already summarized. So I will just quickly, share what we talk more about the green data solution and how we came about and the idea behind all of this, and then briefing about some of our services and upcoming programs before we go ahead with what we have to. Before I'll give the mic to Bisola. So welcome once again to Green Data Solution Global Datathon. I really appreciate you all for participating in this program. And I know many of us had encountered a lot of challenges because of maybe laptop issues, or they were not able to even extract the data, or one issue or the other along the line. But I want to still congratulate you all. You all are winners. Remember, there is no perfect person here. There is no perfect analysis. There is no, whether you finished or you did not finish, I celebrate you all for even, wanting to even be part of the program, for trying to work on the data, for trying to even look for the data at all. You all are champions and I celebrate you all. So Green Data Solution started a few years back, like 2 years ago, as a one-man's business, without any proper guidelines, without any structured process. But we kept moving until recently, with the guidance, with people's guidance, and with insights from mentors and advice, we decided to put a name to it. And as someone that is very, very heavy or big on sustainability, we decided to come up with something that will help, to impact more life, to help us to grow better, to help us to live better, right? Something that will help to improve decisions, something that will help government, policymakers, stakeholders, not just a normal. We didn't plan on just coming up with normal, academy or data academy or anything like that. We want something that is sustainable, something that can, help us to live better, help us to think better, help us to improve our life, our standard of living generally. So green data generally is a startup or a firm that tends to drive sustainability through the use of data. Now, we have our vision statement, our mission statement, and our core values, and all of these are on our platform. I wouldn't want to really go into much details. I think Bisola has already summarized it. So we have our core values are based on what we call ASICI, which is accuracy, sustainability, heavy on sustainability, right? Now we have innovation, collaboration, and integrity. You can as well read up some of these things on our platforms. Okay, I will also share this detailed document on our platform. So I wouldn't want to go into much details so that we don't waste so much of our time. Okay, now we have meet our team members. Like I said, we started as a one-man's business. Now we are expanding, we are building our team, we are growing, and we are, looking for opportunities to collaborate and make more impact, right? Now, our team members, we have 8 members on our team. Here is my humble self. I'm the founder and lead coach, Green Data Solution. My name is Chisom Ibemere. I am a Nigerian, from Nigeria, right? Now, we have Elnora Wanjala. I don't know if she's on the call. She is our virtual assistant. She's a Kenyan, all the way from Kenya. So I really appreciate you, Elnora. We have 2 project coordinators. One is Oladele Oluwafeyikemi, and we have Omolara. Both of them are Nigerians. And we have 2 research assistants as well, Mayowa Idris Olapo, and a Nigerian. And we have a beautiful nurse, a Nigerian nurse based in the UK. Her name is Ogechukwu Ezoke. I think she's also on the call. She's a Nigerian based in the UK. And we have our content writer is Ihoma Linda, and a Nigerian as well. And our social media manager, Lungelo Ndimande, don't know if she's on the call. She's a South African. So if you see them anywhere, appreciate them for us. They have really helped in so many ways. They have helped us even in the planning and execution of some of our programs. Most of them don't even sleep, right? We know how I disturb them a lot, especially when we have programs or tasks to execute. So if you see them anywhere, hug them tight and appreciate them on behalf of Green Data Solutions. So we are really appreciative of your time and effort. And we hope that we'll continue to build and make more impact. Now, our services at Green Data Solution, in case you want to bring opportunities, if you want to collaborate with us, you want to sponsor or partner with us in any way, we have data analytics services or consulting. We also have trainings, and we are looking at expanding these trainings beyond what we are already doing. Currently, we have a training on Microsoft Excel. It's going to be a very intensive one, and after that, we are going to have internship opportunities for the participants, because I know after trainings, after undergoing boot camps and all of that, many people struggle with coming up or seeing places they can intern, and not just interning. They want real, things that can work on real life data. So this is an avenue for them to and data. Now we're going to start like on and you mute yourself. So this training, Microsoft Excel training, is going to start on the 29th of this month, and you can pay instrumentally. If you can't pay the full amount, it's just 15K, right? And you want to pay bit by bit, you can reach out to me on that. So, and is going to be very, very intense, like I said, from beginner to very, very advanced, and you get to build 3 quality portfolio projects at the end of this program. Right now, we have internship opportunities, and our interns we are going to start with people that have already undergone 1 or 2 of our programs or trainings. So, and all of this internship opportunity will start from next month. So we have our data challenges, just like we are having now, and we've concluded one already this year, and I'm pretty for those of us that were part of it, I know you all have had a lot, you gained a lot through the programs, and we have much more opportunities coming up. So speaking engagement, we have 2 coming up in the month of March/April, beginning of April. We already have 2 down, and we hope to get more as we go on. And I also encourage us to stick around, because these programs, you don't know how opportunities will meet you. These programs is going to be power-packed. It's going to be very, very impactful. It's going to be very, very insightful, right? So please do not miss any of our programs. We are going to share more details on our platforms, social media, and the WhatsApp community. So stick with us. We have a lot to, dish out for us. So we have climate advocacy programs, which will be through our social media platforms. So any of these programs will be coming, or anytime we start, we're going to announce them in details as we progress. So about the Datathon, I know many of us are really interested in this one. And so far, we started on the 3rd of this month, March, and all submissions we are taking on the 18th of the last submission, 18th of March, though many people were allowed to submit even beyond that. But the selection, didn't go beyond that 18th. So if you feel your dashboard or your analysis is better than whoever that is going to present, know that you didn't turn it in on time, Remember, there is no wrong submission, there is no wrong analysis, and we appreciate all your insights and analysis. Okay, so about the Datathon, we all know that climate change is now like a menace in our society, and it has really recently you hear a lot about climate change and how it has affected a lot, many sectors in Africa, especially in Africa. I think it's predominant in Africa. Yes, it's predominant in Africa. So climate change is now really affecting a lot of most all sectors in the economy, right? But we want to channel this Datathon to solve the issue of food security, because we know that agriculture is one of the most important aspects of the community, of the economy. And if it is ignored, if data is not, if we are working with outdated data, and it may not really be helpful. So that's why we bring in this Datathon to help government, to help policymakers, to help our stakeholders to see that with data we can actually do more especially in the agricultural sector, because you know that in Africa generally we tend to ignore the importance of data analytics, and many people don't even know how to manage or collect data properly. So if we keep using our skills to solve these problems, if we keep bringing in more awareness on this and keep learning about how data can help so many communities, help improve communities, improve lives and all, I think the government, the people that are in authority will, come on board. Because I remember someone reaching out to me via LinkedIn recently. They want to improve the water quality in DRC. Is it Democratic Republic of Congo? Though we've not finalized on that particular project. So she was talking about how on outdated data may not be helpful in that regard. So they want to use something like IoT and all of to capture real-time data so that they can improve the quality of water they consume in DRC. So things like this, right? When you bring up challenges like this or solutions like this, you see that a lot of things will, you can impact life positively. So this Datathon, so how can data help in improving the decision making? So we can use data in predicting climate impact. I know for those of us that are new, let me just summarize these things, right? So we can use data in predicting climate impact using historical and real-time data to forecast droughts, floods, and temperature shift. We can help farmers prepare ahead of time, right? And understand the temperature and climate before they can start, sowing. So data can also actually help us in this prediction so that we won't have much problem in our agricultural sector. So it can also help in guiding decision on soil health, water use, crop selection, ensuring better use with fewer resources. Now, data can help us in reducing food waste, especially when we run analysis on the food supply chain data, right? Can help us understand food production and distribution very well. Also, government and organizations can rely on data to create policies that protect farmers, improve sustainability, and drive climate impact. This is for in the area of agriculture. So data is very helpful in a lot of. So we have upcoming programs for the month of March. Someone up. Please. So our upcoming programs for the month of March, we have webinars, like I said, 2 webinars coming up. And please, Christian, God, please mute yourself. We have 2 webinars coming up. And then we have Microsoft Excel training coming up, like I've said. Then we have hands-on practical data analytics workshop coming up. In this case, you all can join with your laptops and practice along. It's going to be very, very intense and practical and very, very interesting as well. We're going to bring in someone on board to, help us on that. Okay, so before then, we're going to share more details on that. So we are introducing what we call Green Data Solution Brain Club, and I won't be explaining now. maybe at the end of this program, I will tell you what it is all about. But I will leave it to the floor. I will leave it to you all. Let's just have fun. I know many of you may not really need this 1K recharge card, right? But if you know, what from the name, what do you think Brain Club, Green Data Solution Brain Club is all about? I've not really mentioned it anyway. If you know, put it on the chat. If you get it correctly, I'm going to send you 1K recharge card. So just for fun, anyways. So tell us in the comments. So thank you very much, and I really appreciate you all for taking part in this project. And I hope with time we are going to, do much more things together. We're going to make more. We're going to do better as we move on. So thank you very much. So Abisola, over to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chisom. Thank you so much. I believe we all got one or two things from what she has said. What Green Data Solution is all about, our services, the upcoming Excel training, and lots more that we have for everyone in this hall. So quickly, I'll be calling on our presenters who will come and share with us their analysis and walk us through their thought process. So please, we are giving 10 minutes to each person. Please, strictly 10 minutes, because 5 of us are going to be presenting. So so we need 10 minutes. So Kenneth, Deborah, Oluwarotimi, which of you is on the call, please, so that we can start? Who is going first? Kenneth, are you on the call? Okay. Deborah, are you on the call? Okay. Oluwarotimi, please, are you on the call?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You can just simply address me as Abisola. Okay. So you can share your screen and take us through your presentation. So hopefully the other people will be prepared by then. All right. So you have the mic, please.
Sorry, Deborah and who are not on the call?
Yeah, I can see one Deborah. I'm not sure if she's not responding. I know it's the same Deborah, but this is Deborah Kanye. So yeah. Okay, since she's on the call.
Sorry, after Deborah, who is supposed to go next? Sorry, guys.
Okay, Kenneth's supposed to go first. Kenneth's supposed to go first. After Kenneth should be Deborah. Then after Deborah is Oluwarotimi. And Oluwarotimi is on the call. It seems he's ready.
If you're ready, Oluwarotimi, please go ahead. Thank you, so that we don't waste time.
Okay, so Oluwarotimi, please, you have the mic. You can start your presentation. You can start it.
All right, I'm trying to share my screen. I think I'm having trouble with.
Wow. Okay. Okay. All right, Deborah, please. Are you ready, Deborah? And
okay,
Thomas, what about you?
All right.
So we can save time. Deborah, are you speaking? I can't hear you if you're speaking. Okay. What about Thomas? James Isaac, please, are you on the call?
Thomas is here.
Okay. Oluwarotimi, are you fine? Can you share your screen now? Okay. So these 3 minutes gone.
Yes, I can share my screen now.
Awesome, awesome. So please go ahead, please. Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Okay, so you're sharing your screen, but it's not yet. Oh, okay, it's coming up. Yes, I can see from my hand, though. I can see from my own hand. I can see your screen.
Okay. All right. So we'll try and begin. Okay, so let me go to the first page of it.
Okay. So please be time conscious, please.
Yes. This is 3:40. Hopefully I'll be done by 3:50. All right.
Oluwarotimi, please, you are not audible.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
So yes, good everyone. Oluwarotimi here. So I'll just basically run through everything. So yes, I got my data set from the suggested what's it called now? The suggested links or the links that were given to us took a lot of wrangling. That's the term to put the data together because they were structured in formats that were not what's it called? They were not easily that were not going to be easily analyzed. So I had to like format them to make them able to be easily analyzed. Tools I use Microsoft Excel, IBM
So you
SPSS.
mean your data cleaning, right? The
Yes,
formatting and
data
your
cleaning.
preparation. Yes, data cleaning and
Formatting and all.
preprocessing.
It
Yeah.
it took experts will tell you that you won't believe it, but data cleaning takes more time than most other analysis
I
steps. But
agree
yeah,
with you. I
so
agree with you.
IBM, SPSS, all of them. Then as well as Power BI, I used Power BI also to do some formatting and cleaning. So did all that, was able to come up with this dashboard. Then I thought, okay, how do I want to analyze this data? Do I want to analyze it year by year? Do I want to analyze it month by month if that was available? And I just thought, okay, let me do it in a way such that I analyze each region in Africa, since that was something they said we should do. And also the different climate factors that I got. And climate factors that I thought suitable for my analysis were precipitation, rain, and temperature. Um, Precipitation is different. Precipitation and rain, water, whether solid, liquid, or gaseous. So precipitation is like the sum of rain, snow. I don't know. It's just liquid water that comes. I'm on Central Africa. I'll just show Africa. You see, if you want to know the page I'm on, the top left of my screen, you see now. On the right of the screen, you see correlation. That's what I'll quickly use to explain my analysis. So correlation simply means the relationship between two variables, a dependent and an independent variable. So in this case, the independent variable is our climate factors. Now the variable that depends on climate factors is how agricultural production correlates with climate factor, and in this case temperature. And from my analysis, I noticed that temperature had the highest gross correlation. See where temperature, if I go to North
You're breaking.
Africa, correlation in cloud storage to load this on my phone. My laptop is not responding well to me, so it may take time for it to load. Can you hear me now? Yeah, so this is North Africa temperature. You see correlation 0.74. If we go to East Africa, I'm trying to load the page. Correlation 1.92. This gross across all food crops. Then West Africa correlation 0.53. East Africa correlation 1.9.
Rotimi, please, you're breaking. You might want to also start rounding up, please.
South with how crop yields were, or had the most to do with in relation with crop yields in Africa. across Africa, temperature. And I thought of precipitation and rain. If I had time, I would have shown you. If you put the graph between 1961 and maybe something like 1980, you see that there's a wider range. The graph is a wider range. The graph in the top left, yeah. There's a wider range. You see it between 1960 and 1980. The graph is wider over there. It's showing that they are not close to each other, meaning that rain doesn't closely affect crop production. Rain doesn't closely affect crop production as before. And the reason because of that is because of agricultural innovation that came through over the years and you see years that are coming soon, 1990, 2020. You see that what's it called? The graph is becoming closer to each other. In fact, even intersecting and going past. But yeah, that's where when what's it called? There's a time the time differential shows that what's it called? That the relationship between the two different variables changed over time, and the major cause was because of agricultural innovation. Uh, uh, so recommendations. I'm reading my recommendations from the report I wrote on the what's it called on the project. I submitted them. Sorry, I'm not able to display them because of the issue with my laptop. But yeah, I'll read them out. I'll just highlight them in rounding up. So my recommendation was for precision or implementation of precision agriculture and smart irrigation system. So this will help. It will help not depending on rain, precipitation, like North Africa. If I was able to show you North Africa had high temperatures, North Africa had low rain, North Africa had low precipitation, and that's greatly affected crop yield. So these systems such as this will not make government, countries, communities depend on how to say nature in quotes, depend on it, especially with their climate or the situation of their climate or their weather conditions, climatic conditions. So irrigation systems will help provide other source of water for plants, also integrated water management systems, then climate forecasting. Climate forecasting will help also as well. Then let me see. I'm trying to scroll through to read finally. Yes, and finally, climate smart is not something that is popularly done, but there are people that do it. Where crop breeding, and genetic innovation is something I've read on, something I've known, where certain crops are made for particular regions. So you put that ability of the cactus to grow in an arid region somewhere, you are able to synthesize that ability and put in something like mango or maize that needs water to grow. So yeah, that's also something that can be done to help crop production with in areas things like temperature, rain and precipitation are not consistent, or even in their consistency they are not readily available to help increase crop production. So yeah, that's it. I don't know if you. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Oluwarotimi. That was an insightful one. Well done. Well done. Okay. So quickly, Deborah, please, are you ready? Deborah Coin, so yeah, please, are you ready so you can share your screen
Hi,
with
good
us?
afternoon. I'm ready. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
Hi,
So
hi,
please, you have
Abisola.
10 minutes. Please.
Hi, Abisola.
Okay, choose your.
I don't know if anyone has questions for Oluwarotimi. I think I don't know. You just open the floor for questions so that people can, ask questions or clarities.
Okay, sure. Yes, I was just watching time anyways. Okay, so please, if you have any question for Oluwarotimi, please, you can unmute. Deborah, please kindly hold on. In a minute or two, please ask your questions. If you have any contribution, anything you need clarity on from Oluwarotimi, please, you can unmute yourself and ask.
All right, thank you.
Okay, someone trying to say something? Okay, so for me, while Oluwarotimi was speaking, one thing stood out. He mentioned the fact that he spent a lot of time on the data pre-processing, more like the cleaning part and all of that. And that goes further. Queen, please, you might want to meet. Are you asking a question, Queen? Queen, are you trying to ask a question? Please mute. Yes, thank you. Yes. So for me, what stood out for me? So if you don't have a question, you can actually share with us what stood out for you. He highlighted the fact that he spent so much time on data cleaning, and I totally agree with him. So data, when it comes to data analysis, sometimes you spend like 80% of your time trying to clean your data, put it in a form that is usable. So that's one thing that I want us all to take note of. So please, if you have any other contribution on any observation from the presentation of Oluwarotimi, please, you might unmute yourself and share with us before Deborah takes over.
Okay, fine. I want to confirm the tools that you said you used for the analysis. You said Excel and Power BI and what again?
IBM SPSS.
IPM,
Excel,
SPSS.
Power BI, SPSS. Yes.
Did you say IBM? Is it IBM?
Yes. IBM SPSS.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Another thing is from your analysis, it seems that you had to run the analysis for region. Your regional analysis was like separate. Like what do you call Western region have its own dashboard or page, and I want to know why you did that, because if you're to compare now or run any comparative analysis, how do we understand? Let's say you want to share with stakeholders, how would you compare between different regions? Because, I think the essence of this is not just to get inside. We also want to know which African country has more, threats to climate change, and which one has lesser, threats. So, and I want to know whether you have a specific reason why you had to do that, or you just feel that is the best option for you. I don't know if you understand.
Okay. Yes, I understand the question. I will say first, the reason why I did that was I was thinking of Africa as a whole. And when I think about it, on those states, Lagos states, yeah, same, I will say relatively they have the same climate conditions, but it varies, even within the same country. So the reasoning behind okay, separating into two regions was so that was in the sense that actually these regions, like now, I know without making much research, I know that North Africa is closer to the Sahara than West Africa is. So they are more heavily impacted by the winds of the Sahara than we are. So that was one of the reasons behind it, to see how the different regions are affected. Now, I also did want to create, is it more pages or another page, to generally highlight maybe the whole of Africa or country with this region with the highest this and lowest that. But in truth, actually I didn't have enough time seeing the, what's it called, the number of pages I had to create for the regions. But I can tell you that the region with the least stable climatic conditions, North Africa. You see it in the analysis, they have high temperatures, low rainfall, low climate, all of which, even if modern and cultural processes help mitigate that, but still they affect crop yield. They affect crop yield. And regions, and you see, if you notice, North Africa too, they are not able to produce certain crops too. From that analysis, I was able to figure that out. I saw that there are a list of crops that are not available to some North African countries compared to other countries in the what's it called, in Africa. So yes.
Okay. 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 Chisom, do you want to say any other thing?
Okay, that's okay, but in analysis, in this kind of analysis, I think it's also paramount that you give us a comparative analysis. It's very important we see. You may not be there to, let's say you're presenting this to a stakeholder. The person wants to see, since it's centered on Africa, yeah? The person would want to see the difference or how the climate change affects each how the difference between the parameters, how they, affect each other or how they relate somehow. So doing it on different pages may not really be the best option, but you can actually have a page where you can capture all of that, right? Like a summary. Then, if you want to also break it down further, you can as well go down and do that. So thank you very much for uh, your analysis. It's very, very insightful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma.
Okay. Thank you so much, Oluwarotimi, for that insightful presentation. So, Deborah, please, you can have the mic. Please, 10 minutes, please, so we can, wrap up on time. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So I made a slide with my report. Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen,
Yeah, your
please
screen
let me
is
know.
up. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a
Yes,
slide.
at least from my hand, I can just.
Okay, this is a slide for climate change impact on rice yield in Africa. So I collected my data from FAO crop production database for the rice yield across the years 2000 to 2023 and temperatures. So we're just going to go straight to the point. My general data visualization, I use clustered bar chart, cards, and line chart. From my observation after doing the analysis, Kenya had the highest rice yield overall. Comparing Ethiopia and Kenya rice yields analysis.
Sorry, Deborah,
Ethiopia,
someone said you should put it on full view. You can put it on full view, please. Expand so we can see better.
okay.
No. Use the present. No. Okay, so look at that icon to the left of the slicer you are dragging. The one that looks like a monitor and something under it. Just click on it. Yes, exactly. Yeah, just click on that. Just one click. No. Yes, just click on it. One click. Yes.
Is it better now?
Enable editing. Enable editing first. Look at your screen. There's enable editing. Click on enable editing at the top of your screen, the top center of your screen. Enable editing and click on that icon. Click on enable editing.
I can't.
It's on top of your screen, the center of your screen. Look at the top of your screen, the center. There is enable editing in a black box highlighted in white. Come down, bring your cursor down. Yes, go up. Hey. Look at the line that shows protected view. You will see enable editing, just align to the center of your screen. It's up. Just under your home ribbon, where you have home and all of those guys are like, just come the next row. Yes.
Just go ahead. Go ahead and present, please, so that we don't lose time.
So if you look at the help on the help button tab below the help is that ribbon that shows
Yes.
So can you see it? Because I can't see anything on my screen here. It's just showing the reports. Hello?
I can't see anything at my hand. Please, can we all confirm if we
I
can
can't see
see
anything
Deborah's
on my
screen?
end as well. But you can continue with that. I just thought it would have been a better view to have it on presenter view. Thank you.
Can you see it
You might
now?
want to stop sharing and share again. You might want to stop sharing and share again.
Maybe someone else should continue and I'll be back because my laptop is really giving me issue right now.
Okay, so all right, Deborah, you can hopefully
Can
by the
you see
time
my
the other
screen
person.
now?
No, we can't see your screen. And who else can see our screen, please?
We can't see it from here as well. So if Kenneth
Okay.
is ready, please, Kenneth, go ahead.
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
Okay, yes, it's
Yeah,
back.
yes, it's back up.
Okay. So comparing Ethiopia and Kenya rice yields, Ethiopia's highest yield was in 2022 at 3,466.70 kilogram per hour, with maximum temperature of 30.4 degrees Celsius, minimum temperature of 16.3 degrees Celsius, and average temperature of 23.2 degrees Celsius. The lowest yield was 2008 at 1,233 kilogram per hour, with temperature of 30.3 degrees Celsius max and minimum temperature of 16.3 degrees Celsius, with average temperature of 23.0 degrees Celsius. For Nigeria and South Africa, Nigeria's highest yield was in 2014 at 2,160.90 kilogram per hour with temperature of 33.3 degrees Celsius max, 16.5 degrees Celsius mean, and 20.3 degrees Celsius average. The lowest yield was in 2007 at 1,299.90 kilogram per hour with temperature of 33.1 degrees Celsius maximum, then 16.5 degrees Celsius minimum temperature, and 23.0 degrees Celsius average. So this analysis is showing the temperatures at which the country has their highest yields and their lowest yields. For Tanzania, we have maximum temperature of 26.4 degrees Celsius, minimum temperature of 17.4 degrees Celsius, and yield of 56.7 thousand. General solutions for sustainable rice production. To ensure sustainable rice production in the face of rising temperatures and unpredictable weather patterns, several solutions are recommended across all 5 countries. These include adopting climate resilient rice varieties, improving irrigation systems, and developing adaptation strategies specific to their regions. Additionally, promoting sustainable farming practices such as conservation agriculture, crop rotation, and organic farming can enhance resilience to climate shocks. Further research should focus on understanding the role of additional climate factors such as rainfall, humidity, and soil moisture. So I'm niching down to Nigeria because Nigeria has the lowest yield across all 5 countries. Nigeria is the one with the lowest rice yield. Given that Nigerian exhibited the lowest rice yield among the 5 countries studied, special attention must be given to addressing the country's unique challenges. Nigeria must prioritize the development of importation of rice strains that are specifically resistant to temperature extremes, ensuring that farmers can maintain consistent yields even during hotter season. Efficient and localized irrigation methods such as drip irrigation should be introduced to ensure water availability for rice yield. Given Nigeria's vulnerability to temperature increases, it is critical to develop adaptation strategies that focus on managing high temperatures, particularly during the crucial growing stages of rice. Impact on findings on food security. This analysis reveals significant implications for food security, particularly in Nigeria, which has consistently shown the lowest rice yield among the 5 countries, with a growing population and rising demand for rice as a staple food. Nigeria's lower yield presents a major concern from its food security. To mitigate these challenges and secure stable rice production. The proposed solutions such as adopting climate resilient rice varieties, improving irrigation systems, and developing tailored adaptation strategies are crucial. These measures can help Nigeria increase the rice yield, stabilize the food supply, and reduce the dependency on imports. Thank you.
Wow.
Hello?
Thank you, Deborah. Yes, thank you so much. So far, Deborah has, she was able to. You started like exactly 4 p.m. and in 5 minutes you are done. So please, do we have questions for Deborah? Deborah, thank you very much. I would love to applaud the fact that even with the fact that initially we're having issues with what you were sharing, we're still able to hold it together and make your presentation within the short time frame. Okay, so I can see people sending in the clap emoji and stuff. So please, if you have a question for Deborah, please, you can ask her your questions now. Do you have anybody that wants to ask?
Hello.
You can. Okay.
Yes. So
So
my problem is I remember when the data or the link was sent, I had difficulty downloading the data. So I don't know if Deborah can help me with how was the process? How did she get the data from getting to the link, the website, and then because when I downloaded the data, it was in Notepad. I copied and pasted it in Excel, and it only occupied one cell of the Excel. Like the entire data was in just one cell of the Excel workbook. So I mean the worksheet. So I don't know if I'm not drawing the class back, maybe if she can help demonstrate how she extracted the data, I'll be very grateful. Thank you.
okay, I think that should be noted. That should be noted. Okay. So for me, Deborah, I would like to ask you, what are the challenges you faced while working on this project? If you can share with us, and I'm also expecting more questions from one or two of us. So Deborah.
Okay, so the challenges were like getting the data, cleaning them, and like arranging it. So I also had that challenge from copying to the notepad to Excel. So the thing you do is just go to the data part of your Excel and separate with comma.
Oh,
Hello?
okay.
When you copy it to Excel, go to the data part, then separate with comma. I don't know if there's no time, I would have shown you how to do it on Excel here.
Did
Yeah,
you
you
capture
can
that?
always do that after this call. Yeah.
Did you
So
capture
somebody
that?
trying to say something?
Someone asked a question. I'm trying to ask the person that asked the question whether she understood what she said. Separate with comma.
Yeah, like comma being the delimiter that she used.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
yes.
Right?
So I'll try it again, and then if anything, I'll come back to the page, the WhatsApp page. Thank you.
Are you on the group platform?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
So what tools
All
did you
right.
use
Do
to
we have
make,
more questions?
yeah.
Yes.
So what
Okay.
tools did you use for this analysis? Extraction and analysis.
Okay, I used Excel and Power BI for the
Okay,
analysis.
okay, that's fine. All right, thank you very much. If you have
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Deborah, can I see your dashboard?
Oh, okay, no problem.
Okay. Like, is it possible for you to show it to us? I want to see
Of
how different it is from the first person that presented.
Okay, I'll open my Power BI now and
Okay,
share.
thank you.
so the next presenter also take notes. People would like to see your dashboard. Okay,
Yeah,
so you can keep
exactly.
it. If you have a PowerPoint presentation, you can also open your dashboard so that you can show us what you have. Thank you.
So please, Thomas Abiodun, I want you to get ready. Kenneth, please get ready so that once Deborah is done showing us our dashboard, you can take over. Thank you. So Deborah, we're waiting for you. Please show us your dashboard so we can go to the next person.
Okay. Hello, can you see my screen?
No, your screen is not yet up.
Okay. Sorry, Power BI is taking time to load.
Is it coming up, or should we take someone else? While
Take
you,
someone else, please. I'll try sharing it soon.
Kenneth, please go ahead if you're ready.
Yeah. Okay. So Kenneth, please, Kenneth, are you on the call?
Yes, I am.
Is
I am
Kenneth
on the
on the call?
call.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on
Yeah.
the call.
Over to you, please. Please,
Yeah.
10 minutes, please. Show us your make your presentation, and please remember to show us your dashboard also.
Okay. I am trying to share my screen.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, I see we can only share one screen at a time. I was trying to share my entire screen. So let me start with this.
Who are you talking to? Hi.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. From my hand, I can see it.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I am Kenneth Onbiko, a data analytics instructor and a research analyst. So I'll be presenting insights on the impact of climate change in agriculture using Africa as a reference. So I don't know if this where my cursor is blocking anything, or you can see my screen entirely. Hello.
Yes, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm seeing something is blocking my my PowerPoint screen. So I don't know if it's also showing on everyone's end.
I can see your introduction page.
Okay, so I'll go ahead. So I started by getting the data sets from FOA stats, which was presented to us. So I centered on temperature and emissions. So I took a couple of emissions data sets as well as temperature and production data sets. So for the cleaning, I used Microsoft Excel to clean. I did some transpositions. I deleted some null values and some values that were imputed, meaning they were just guesswork. They were just guess values. They were not real values. In the sense that some of those values reappeared in previous years. So I didn't think it was necessary to continue using them. I dropped them. And I also filtered the production data set to filter for only crops. So my analysis will just be about crop production and not livestock. So I talked about what climate change is. It refers to the long-term shifts in temperature, weather patterns, and environmental conditions on Earth. And they are driven by human activities, and such as fossil fuels and deforestation and gas emissions. I would center more on these gas emissions and fires from fossil fuels and land use. So I explained how emissions affect climate change, which is a long read, but I think let me just take a few points. So certain emissions like carbon dioxide and nitric acids are called greenhouse gases. When they are trapped in the atmosphere, they create the effects which leads to global warming, which we are experiencing. Why I believe we are experiencing global warming? In the data set, I did a time series for the average temperature per year, and I noticed from the 2000s and maybe mid 2000s, it just kept going higher. So we are obviously experiencing global warming. Down to our analysis. I segmented my analysis into analysis for temperature and analysis for emissions as to how they affect crop production. So I filtered the high temperature years and segmented them as climate peak, which is the year 2016, 19, and 2023. And then there were lower temperature years, like the lowest temperature years, which is 1964, 1974, and 1976. I called them climate troughs. And then I did not use all the crops I got from the production data set. I just filtered maize, sugarcane, sorghum, and millet for this analysis. So for the years where we had the lowest temperatures, I compared them with the previous year values of production volume. And it appears that for every year and for every referenced crop, there was an increase in production. As we can see, there is no minus here. And in 1974, it is significant that maize got a 26% increase in production, which is something to be looked at. So I went further to the climate with the highest temperatures, which is 2016, 19, and 23. Although some had very minimal increase in production volume, we had more reduction in production value than the increase. And I noticed sorghum in 2016 had more than 100% increase, which I felt like it was an outlier because it's outrageous. But after my analysis, I figured it was an actual value, and it's something the farmers or the government or stakeholders should probably look into. Sorghum as a plant and factors that led to such increase, even in such high temperature and climatic conditions. So I went ahead to do a correlation of how temperature in general affected production value. And I discovered that we have a weak correlation here. There is a correlation, but it's not a very strong one. And I noticed production is more concentrated at lower temperature, and higher temperatures show unpredictable production value. Then I went further. To list some observations from my analysis. So I noticed extremely high temperatures are not best for crops to thrive. Maize is significant for thriving in both extremely low and extremely high temperature. Millet has very little capability of thriving in extremely high temperature. Sorghum showed high volatility with both significant increases and decreases, and over increase in productivity in lower temperature than high temperatures. So I also made some recommendations as pertains to my observations. So I think farmers should look into climatic conditions, soil fertility, and market demand during the years with high and low productions. And they should also adopt drought-resistant policies. Stakeholders should promote millet as a climate-resilient crop. And a closer look at maize and the factors affecting the better yield should be adopted. So, and then I continued my analysis on emissions and how it affects. From this chart, we would notice as production volume increases, emission intensity reduces, which means the lower the intensity, the emission intensity, the higher the production volume. So I did a little notes on what I observed. So crops with higher emission intensity have relatively lower production volumes compared to the ones with lower emission intensity. And I noticed the average temperature appears stable across all crops. And I also noticed if emissions exceed a threshold, crop yields are likely to drop, which would in turn affect food security. So I went ahead to highlight the emission hotspots, like where we had the highest emission values, both in intensity and average emission values. So what I noticed is, and I compared them with regular regions. What I noticed is regular regions produce about 100%. In actual value, 99.6% more food than emission hotspots. Emission hotspots region might rely on practice.
I'm so sorry to cut in. Please, let's start rounding up. It's past 10 minutes already.
Oh, so
Thank
sorry.
you.
Okay, so I'll just read out my recommendation for crops affected by emissions. So farmers should aim for emission reduction policies with immediate effect. They should also promote agroforestry and regenerative farming. And also country-specific emission policies should be put in place, in the sense that if you adopt sustainable practices, you will be rewarded. If not, you will be penalized. Then let me just browse through my my dashboard, because it's already open. So I'll just change the screen I'm sharing. Okay. So can we see my dashboard?
Yeah, I guess it's still coming up. I can't. Okay, it's up now.
Okay, so I segmented them into emissions and temperatures, and this is exactly how it looks. It's an interactive dashboard. Okay. So I guess that's that about the presentation. If there are any questions or contributions, I would appreciate.
Okay. Awesome. Well done, Kenneth. So please, do we have any question for Kenneth so that I can, answer us? So please, we have 2 minutes, please, because we are way behind. Okay, your hands are raised. Okay. So you can unmute and ask the question. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I think I like what you did when you were doing the presentation and all the comparison. I think I wanted to ask for the time series, what tool did you use to do the time series? And again,
sorry, what?
What did you use to do the time series when you did the time series? Yeah,
I did all my charts. Okay, go on.
Yeah, sorry, I wanted to just finish talking so that I will mute myself and
go
then
on.
don't get interrupted by the person speaking here. And then what you said about sorghum, it's just interesting that sometimes even if you don't do data analysis, people might, for example, in this case, farmers might be looking at like trying to study other crops like maize and all whatnot, and then there's something that seemingly is an outlier, but it's not a true outlier like you said. So it's also good that you found that out, and it's a good recommendation that they should look at even ways to improve instead of depending on solely what they think is very productive, and also look at other areas that they think could also be make more produce for them. But you made a recommendation about farmers initiating, and I don't think I'm getting it right, but something about drought sustenance policy. And I don't think you made any comparison about production and water. I think you made, I don't know if I missed it. Please correct me from there. Thank you.
Production and water. Okay.
Yeah, when you said about like the first recommendation, when you were saying about maize, and then you said something about farmers. looking into drought specific. I can't remember the word, but it was about drought. And I'm thinking, I don't think you made any comparison with um, um, plant production and water. So why the recommendation about drought specific policies? I think that's the word.
Yeah, if we have very high temperature years, it's only rational to think that those years would have experienced, as in they could have experienced dry season, drought, and stuff. So hence my recommendation. I only worked with temperature and emissions data sets, nothing about rainfall. But
David, see just this light now. This one.
And your second question, I use Power BI to do all my tasks. Does that answer your question?
Yes, on the dashboard, I don't know because we didn't go through it. Is there areas where we see the country specific, like how the different factors yes, affect
How do
the
what?
country, how the different factors affect country specific? Where you put like country specific on your dashboard. I know you didn't have time to go through it, but it would have been interesting to know. Like I was writing on the chat, since your dashboard is interactive, I think it would have been for me, I don't know other people's opinion, to use the dashboard so you can just make, because when you're saying that and moving through your screen and showing all the interaction, it will be so well relatable than doing the PowerPoint presentation.
Other words, like I could use country as a filter in the dashboard. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying if there are options, like if on your dashboard you created like country specific, so that we see how country and these these
Yeah, now I highlighted since it's an interactive dashboard, I could as well use affects my entire dashboard.
I'm so sorry, everyone. This conversation might have to continue in the community. So, we have 2 other speakers that need to speak, and we are way behind time, our schedule. So, please, okay, the conversation can continue after this session. Is that fine?
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, thank you, Kenneth. Thank you so much. So, Thomas Abiodun, please, are you on the call?
Hi, Abisola.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hi, Abisola.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you.
First of all, we'll have to skip the games because of no time. And also, there is a little request here. I think the last presenter is running out of power, and he requests that he presents immediately before he, log out of the call. So if it is okay is it Abiodun that's supposed to take this? So Abiodun, please, can you give James to present before
Okay, no
you...
problem.
All right,
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. So, James,
right.
if you're on the call and if you can hear me, please go ahead and give your presentation.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Hello, everyone.
Hi, we can hear you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is James Isaac. The challenge, and the challenge have been so insightful for me, and it has been so interesting, and it has been fun. So I want to quickly make my presentation, tackling climate change impact on agriculture in Africa. So I am presenting from GitHub. So I hosted my project on GitHub. I'm presenting from GitHub. All right. So the project, when I first saw the topic, when I first of all saw the title, tackling climate change impact on agriculture in Africa, the first thing I trying to observe or to identify is I wanted to identify my independent and dependent variable topic. And I discovered that, okay, my independent variable is a climate change, climate factor. All right, what are we doing here? What are we looking for? What is the objective? The objective is that we want to know, is there impact of, is there an impact, a positive or negative impact, or no impact of agriculture based on climate, factor? So quickly, I run through my slides here. Right. A brief introduction. As we all know, food is important. Food is like, should I say, is the god of, of life. At least a small god of life, because everywhere is important. Everybody eats food. It is so that is one of the things that capture, that capture my attention to the project when I saw that, oh, climate impact on agriculture. And I said, this is a very wonderful, topic that need to be explored and need to be discussed, because if we run out of food, we are inviting death in our land. So, all right, so quickly, for simplicity's sake, for my project, so for the project to be simple, for me to leave everything simple, and so that I'll be able to present simple, I just focus on just 5 countries, 5 African countries, which are Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, Sudan, and Zambia. And I focus on just within 10 years, 2014 to 2023, just to leave everything simple. So the first thing I did was to collect all right, I've gotten the objective of the project, I've gotten the problem statement. So the next thing I want to do is I want to quickly get my data collection, collect my data and prepare it. And so I got my data from 2 sites. I got the agricultural output, which is the production and yield. I got them from FAO. So I got for just 2014 to 2023. So I just, drill down to just 5 countries, like I said earlier, just to leave everything simple. So I don't want to, complicate things, going by region or going with too much countries. And I also fetch my climate data change. I fetched it from Crew Data UAC UK sites. So I collected it for the 5. The record for the 5 African countries, 2014 to 2023. So what I did was I combined both data sets. So I have the 2 data sets, 2 different worksheets. So I have to combine the both data sets to analyze trends and find relationship with climate factors and agricultural productivity. Now, understanding the data set, I have my 2 data sets, right? I have my crop production data, which contains 2,341 rows, and this is actually the data dictionary. It contains this field, country, elements, items, yield, and value. The element here indicates whether the value represents yield or production. Yield in kilogram per hectare, while production in tons. And also for the climate change, so I just focus on few climate factors like rain days. I focus on vapor pressure, maximum temperature, minimum temperature, average temperature, precipitation, and PETs, which is potential evapotranspiration, and dry temperature range. So these is a quick overview of what each column means. What is the meaning of rain days? We have the total number of rain days with rainfall in a year. So that's just a quick overview. And they have a picture of the agriculture data set and the climate data set. So this is how it looks like. So these 2 data sets, I wanted to relate them, and so that I can have be able to analyze it and have interaction between the 2 data sets. And the tools I use some quite number of tools. I use Excel for initial data processing, formulas, and structuring. I use Power Query for merging and transforming data efficiently. I use DAX, for getting my KPIs and my metrics and calculated metrics in Power BI. And I use Power BI for visualization, trend analysis, and generating insight. Then the last tool I used was Grid2. Grid2 is actually a data science tool, majorly for developing a predictive model, because that's one of the requirements that we need to forecast future events and to check which of the factors really do matter. So the next step was to do data cleaning, preparation, and transformation. So I aggregate. The first step was I aggregate climate data, because the climate data came in monthly, came as a form of month. It was in a monthly record. So I have to group them by country and year in order to, I just aggregated it into year instead of having it in month. And I created a unique ID to establish a relationship between the two data sets. I generated a unique ID column for both data set. And I did that on Excel using index match function so that I can be able to, the relationship was done on the unique ID. So the relationship was created or established, which is one-to-many relationship on Power BI, was created on the unique ID field, which I generated for both data set. All right, so I did data modeling in Power BI, connecting, just as I explained earlier, using one-to-many, direction. And I also calculate key measures like using DAX. Here is just a snapshot of the data set in Power Query, how I did the merging, where I did the merging, how I combine and do the transformation and every other thing. So the next thing is then I have my visualization. All right, let me go to interact with dashboard. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Yes. With dashboard. So I just get my KPIs. The total crop output, average temperature, average precipitation, total rain days. Just leave everything simple. I have all the average vapor pressure. So we're looking at the dashboard. These visuals, this bar and chart, this dwarf charts. But what I did was I did the correlation chart using this, this chart by the line chart is the climate, represent the climate factor, while the bar chart represents the crop, crop output. So you see the blue ones highlighted at the highest yield, while the red are the lowest. And if you look at the what do you call it now, the line chart, you'll see as temperature dropped, you see the crop spike up as temperature goes up like that. So I did it for each of the factors. I did for temperature versus crop output, precipitation versus crop output, rain days versus crop output. So that's how I did it. And I have the second part, the second slide, the second page here where I just did a quick summary like top producing country, top 5 producing items. And I did a correlation table here. If you look at my correlation table, you discover that for the 10, what do you call it now, for the 10 years, you discover that the place shaded very deep blue are the years where the crop were high. And if you look at temperature, as the crop increases, the temperature drops, and we see precipitation increases, which means more rain, more numbers of rains, less temperature increases. So this is just a overview of the dashboard. And coming back to my presentation here. So I just have a quick, I have my discussion here, looking at each of the country, like for example, Kenya, the key, I try to compare the maximum, the year where the yield was maximum and the year where the yield was, was less. And I try to find out what is the key problem, what is the climate factor that is affecting, that has more impact on the production yield. And I discovered that the key challenge for Kenya was high water loss due to evaporation, making irrigation necessity. But one thing I noticed that Kenya's agriculture tell a complex story, because there was more rain days actually in Kenya. There was more rain days, but still yet there was the challenge was still water loss. Why? Because there was high temperature. So even with the fact that there was more rain days, there was still issue of drought. Why? Because of the high temperatures, telling us that high water loss, more rain day does not always guarantee better harvest. So in 2022, Kenya produces 19 million tons of crops despite high temperature and 99 rainy days. However, in 2017, the country recorded only 14 million tons, even with more rain and more rainy days. And so what went wrong? So I had to check the drought index, and I found out that the drought index was low, meaning rainfall wasn't the problem. Instead, unstable temperature that was the problem. There was unstable temperature, effects in Kenya. And Nigeria case was straightforward. The heat was on. So it was like as temperature is rising, the crop yield is declining. As temperature is rising, the crop yield is declining. So that is the key challenge. Rising temperature and making farming more difficult. Short rainy seasons are limiting water supply. And the proposed solution is to introduce heat-resistant crops to sustain production. And that's if this is possible, and also implement mulching techniques to retain soil moisture and develop drought insurance program. And also, okay, I didn't talk about the proposed solution for Kenya, adopt drip irrigation to optimize water use, develop climate resistant crop. All right, and
please start rounding up. Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
So
start rounding up. Yeah.
South Africa, thank you. Fighting against dry. South Africa are actually fighting against dry condition. Sudan surviving extreme drought. So this was the story behind the analysis. And for my predictive analysis, I use Brittle as a tool using a backward elimination, and I got some insight. Like the one of the key takeaway from the study is that impact of rain days and potential evaporation of the amount were the key factors that that actually precede all other factors for the each of the country. And my conclusion and recommendation: climate smart, farming, invest in heat resistant crops and better irrigation, water conservation strategies, promote rainwater harvesting, soil moisture protection, government policies, strengthen farmer support programs, risk management and initiative, education and training, so you equip farmer. Most farmers are not aware of these things, that climate has, and how to manage it also, and technology and data. So by taking action now, Africa can build a more climate resilient agricultural sector, ensuring food security for future generation. Thank you. My name is James Isaac, signing out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, James Isaac. Thank you so much. That was, wow, that was so insightful. And your tools and everything. I can say you use GitHub, right? You had
yes.
You were reading.
Yes.
Yes, awesome. Yes. So because we don't have so much time left, I can see Danladi's and Grace. Do we have questions for James? Please, 2 minutes max. Keep it short, and you will just try and answer you. And if there is any other thing you want beyond what we've presented, or probably you want to know more about what you did, we can continue the conversation in the community. So, Danladi, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask him your question. So before our final presenter speaks. Yeah.
Good evening. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go on. Please make it fast. Thank you.
Okay, I wanted to ask, like when he interacted with the dashboard from the GitHub, was it Power BI service or Power BI desktop?
It was Power BI's service. So like when you clicked on interact dashboard, to take you to Power BI service. Okay,
sorry, did you write a code for that? Like the link that took you to the Power BI service?
Yes, it's an empty code actually. So yeah.
Thank you.
From my hand, any challenge working on this project, James Isaac, any challenge that you may want to share with us? Just briefly.
The major challenge was that the data for climate factors for African country are not readily available. They're not really readily available. So searching for, because it took me a lot of time. I think even 2 days to get my data set on climate. I think that should be looking to, it should be looking to. It was not ready. That's the major challenge.
Wow, well done. So far, getting the data, preparing the data, that's been like the major challenge everyone has been talking about. Okay, thank you very much, James. Your presentation is so detailed. Thank you so much. Well done. So quickly, Thomas Abiodun, are you still on the call, please, so we can do your final presentation? Please, 10 minutes. Thank you.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Abiodun. So let me share my screen. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, please go
Yes.
Can you
ahead.
see my screen?
Yes,
So,
yes.
so good afternoon, everyone, once again. My name is Thomas Abiodun Olumide. Um, um, from the title of the data team, tackling the impact of climate change on agriculture in Africa. So, so I will not really waste much time. So, for the opening, rising temperature and unpredictable weather are reshaping agriculture in Africa. Can we adapt to ensure food security? So the focus will be on, so this project aligned with SDG 13, that's climate action, and SDG 2, that's zero hunger. So we'll be exploring the effect of climate change on agriculture and impact on food security across African countries. So why does this matter? So Africa's agriculture is vital but vulnerable. So understanding these challenges is key to sustainable solutions. So I will just so I'll go to my methodology so that we don't waste time. So for the data set used here, I used two sites, the FAO site, that's from Powstat, and crude data. So from Powstat, I was able to get crop yield, food security indicator, and then from crude data, I got the average, the rainfall volume and temperature from here. So that's basically climate change data. So I focused on 1990 to 2023. So that's the year that I focused on. So the analysis steps that I use, so defining my goal, which is in up there, but I don't want to waste much time on that. Then I collected my data and I tried to restructure and clean it. So I carry out data analysis, that's EDA. Then I extracted the insight and I provided recommendation. Then now I'm presenting my findings. So the software used in this particular project, I use Excel, I use Python, some other packages of Python. So I want to leave. I want to stop sharing from here so I can share my Jupyter notebook. So let me stop here so that you can see how I carried out my analysis and all. So please let me permit me to quickly come with I'm coming. Sorry, please. So let me. Comments.
Okay, so has Deborah shared her dashboard with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Should I share it now or?
Have you done it already?
Yes, my Power BI. Should I share my Power BI is on now?
Okay, okay. While the last presenter is getting ready for the presentation, you can quickly share with us so that we don't waste so much time. Okay. Sorry, Thomas.
Please, I'm coming. Okay, I've seen it. Okay, I should wait, right?
Okay, go ahead, please. If you're ready, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So can you see my screen now? So this is a notebook that I
Yes.
use for this analysis. So this is the problem statement. I will not really dwell. I've talked about it, and I've talked about the focus, SDG 13 and then SDG 2. And I've talked about the objective. So analyzing how rising temperature and unpredictable weather pattern affects crop yield and agricultural productivity across African countries. So for the experience analysis, I imported some important libraries. like pandas, NumPy, matplotlib for visualization, Seaborn, plotly. Then I was trying to do, I had plan of doing a predictive model, but because of some challenges and time, I was not able to proceed to modeling. So then I started the load the data. So this is for crop yield, for food security. So for the food security, I focused on 4 indicators. I focused on what's it called? So I focused on number of undernourished people. I also focused on number of severely food insecure people. That's for both sexes. I also focused on the number of severely food insecure people. That's male. That's for food security data set. Number of severely food insecure people. That's female. So 15 years and over. So here I check the profile groups of the data to see how the data looks like. That's for each of the data here. Then after that, I try to check the info of the data to see if there are no values. Then I try to convert my year because the year is in integer. So I will not be able to use that for visualization. I have to convert it using a type function from integer to object. That's the categorical data. Then so here I did some cleaning and some transformation. So I had to use P-learning here to fill in some value for the food security data. So not to waste time, I also input the temperature data from here. So I check for duplicate records and I try to remove them if there's any. As you can see, we have the record here for the food security data, DFFS. I have about 1,003 rows that are duplicate. So I try to remove the duplicate. I drop the rows. So I check the practical summary for crop yield. So this is it. I noticed the outliers, which I actually did. This is for the temperature. For the temperature data gotten from crew data, data comes in for different countries, comes in months. So for better analysis, I try to get the minimum across the month and I try to get the average and maximum. So which you can see in the data in what's it called in the describe here to show minimum the statistical breakdown of the data. So then I move on to analysis, sorry, visualization. Then crop yield, I try to check if there are skewed data. So I noticed that this crop is actually skewed. So it's actually right skewed. So it's actually left skewed. So you can see it's not well distributed. It's not normally distributed. So and I also check using box plot here. I try to check if there are outliers. So you can see there are outliers here. And I also look at the crop for the crop yield. I changed the name because it came in item. So for better readability, item here means crop for the crop yield data. Then here I checked top 30 crops. So here the top 30 crops here we have other vegetables, we have fruits, we have maize, we have groundnut, sorghum, rice. So I checked top 30. Then I also check list 30. For the list 30, I have come in please. So for this, I have cassava, canary seed, kiwi fruit, and so on. Then I try to carry out the bivariate analysis. Those ones are univariate. So I check the crop yield by year. So I noticed there was a kind of a steady increase in the crop yield from 1990 to 2022. As you can see, even though it's not that straight, but yeah, we have a kind of a progressive increase from 1990 to 2023. So yeah, we can see, 1990 we have what's it called? We have 6,333 337 kilogram per hectare. Then for the 2022, we have the highest, we have like 8,258. So then I also look at crop yield by country. So I notice the crop yield is high in countries like Egypt, Cape Verde, Mauritius, Senegal, and and it reduces like that. So then we also have crop yield by average crop yield by crop themselves. So we have sugarcane, which has the highest yield. Then we have sugar beets, we have peppermint and spearmint, we have pineapple and so on. So also look insecure food security. I also carry out the great analysis here too. I also look at the out data at the distributor. I noticed there are also outliers here. So the data is skewed. So then I try to confirm using the box plot, which actually confirms that. Then for the food security, I try to look at the trend by year. So from here, you can see there are kind of a trend here, though which is not very obvious. But I noticed food security tends to be lower in 2023. So it came down and dropped, drastically. Then for better understanding, I try to group my data using the food security. I noticed the number of severely food insecure people for both sex tends to be very high. We have like 5 point something million, followed by a number of undernourished people, which 4 point something. Then we have number of severely food insecure people, that's female, which is about 1.7. Then we have the number of severely food insecure people. For male, we have 1.6. Just for better understanding, I try to look at a kind of comparative here. So yeah, I look at the legend here for the indicator for food security as my legend. So by country, I notice Democratic Republic of Congo tend to have high value for all these legends, for number of severely food insecure for both sexes, for number of undernourished people, for number of severely insecure people for male and for female. So you have the highest in terms of this. Can you hear me, please? Can I continue? Okay. So then followed by Nigeria, you can see the percentages
I got
here.
7 order. I 7.
So it seems DRC and Nigeria tends to follow this pattern for all the indicators for food security. So I will talk about all this in my insight. So then for the rainfall, I try to check for distribution also. I checked the box lot here. It was more, less skewed compared to other then I look at the rainfall by country. So Egypt had lower volume of rainfall per year than the average by year. So followed by Ethiopia. Then Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Seychelles tend to have high volume of average rainfall per year. So now what I noticed here is that during this analysis, I noticed this particular graph, this particular bar chart, and this what's it called? This this average crop yield by country. So if you look at Egypt, Egypt has the highest crop yield.
Sorry,
please. Akiloye, please mute. Please. If you know you're not presenting, please mute.
Volume of rainfall. That shows that the lower the rainfall volume per year, average rainfall per year, the more the crop yield. So then I like the temperature also. As I've said earlier, the temperature data came in months. So I tried to find the average. So I focused on the minimum, average, and maximum. I tried to check trend of temperature, but I noticed the data is not, the trend wasn't very good. So I also checked for average, minimum. So I tried to, so for minimum, for mean, that's the average. Then max, so the trend were not really okay. So then I tried to look at what's it called, the average minimum temperature by country. So I noticed Lesotho tends to have the lowest temperature, and the highest here is South Sudan. Then I look at the average mean temperature. So I look at the temperature, the average, mean, and so it's the same thing for. So Lesotho tends to have the highest for those for average, mean, and max. Then I try to combine the class and carry out work on data together. So I match all the data, as you can see here. I match them together using year and area, that's country, as the column for merging. So to add that, then I try to clean the smoothness of the data. So I use what's it called? I use log here using numpy. So I noticed the data, the skewness was removed after doing that. So then I tried to look at the data skill after the skewness. I noticed the outliers were reduced. Then I tried to carry out a correlation analysis. So from here, using what's it called? Heat map. I used heat map to check how the data were collected. I said I wanted to, do a kind of regression analysis on it because of time. So I noticed here rainfall and crop yield, they actually inversely related. That's why you can see negative here. But the temperature are not really, they don't really show a very good because the what we are considering, our target is crop yield. So all other features, we are going to use them to predict the crop yield. But I noticed only rainfall actually, give an inverse, not a direct one, but an inverse. So from this, I said, from the graph, from the batch that I showed earlier. So then I looked at my insight there. So I would not want to go back to the, what is it called? The PowerPoint, because I also have the list for the insight. So the crop yield data set reduce pattern in agriculture. So most and least planted crops. So the most widely planted crops, we have vegetable fruits, maize, groundnut, sorghum. So conversely, the least planted crops, we have cassava, and we have leaf, canary, kiwi, and so for the trend in crop yield, I've mentioned it earlier. The crop yield shows an almost increase over the years. The productivity did improve. So the lowest average crop yield was recorded in 1990, and that was 6,337, which I've mentioned, kilogram per hectare. So then we have highest average, which was in 2023, that's 8,256. Then we also look at the crop yield, crop with the highest yield. So crop with the highest yield tends to be sugarcane, watermelon, pineapple, onions, shallots, carrots, and these are the first 5, and apples. So for the food insecurity, I try to focus on Nigeria and Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, because these are the highest. They actually follows the food security indicator that I focused on. So for DRC, food insecurity indicators are 12.7% severely food insecure for both sexes, which is the highest. We have 7.8 undernourished people. We have 3.5% severely food insecure males, 3.3% severely food insecure males. In Nigeria, we have 11.4%, which is lower than DRC, though these are the two highest, Nigeria and DRC. Then we have 6.2 compared to 7.8 in DRC. We have 3.3 severely food insecure males compared to 3.5 in DRC. We have 3.1% severely food insecure females. So then I look at impact of rainfall on crop yield. So analysis of average yield of country by country and average rainfall millimeter per year by country suggests that higher rainfall correlates with lower yield. This indicates that unpredictable weather pattern, specifically rainfall
Please,
volume, average
Thomas,
rainfall
sorry
volume.
to cut in. Can we start rounding up, please?
I'll round up now. So,
Yes, and
excessive rainfall.
recommendations.
So for the recommendation, promotes climate resilient agricultural practices. So that's one of the recommendations that I make. Promote climate resilient agricultural practices. Then we have strengthen food security interventions. So like focus on high-risk countries like Democratic Republic of Congo and Nigeria. Address insecurity and undernourished. Then we have leverage data for agricultural decisions. So utilizing predictive model for forecasting crop yield. We have invest in irrigation infrastructure. So to reduce reliance on rainfall by promoting investment in irrigation systems. We have policy advocacy and research. So advocate for policies that promote climate actions in agriculture, aligning SDG 13 and SDG 2. So promote crop diversification. So encourage farmers to diversify their crops, especially in increasing the population of high yield and climate resilient crops, such as sugarcane, watermelon, pineapple. So provide financial and technical support to transition from low yield crops to more productive alternatives. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Thomas. Your explanation is detailed, it's like a master class. Thank you so much. Let's drop our emojis. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let me stop.
We are way behind our schedule. Thomas, well done. I could see you. Yes, I could see you more like you use Python for your data cleaning, or what other tools did you use? And if you have any question, you can drop your questions in the chat box so I can read it out for you. So that I will not spend I don't want to spend more than 5 minutes more on this call. You used what? Please go on.
So
why
Excel for restructuring data before importing to Python.
Okay, awesome. So as data analyst, you can see we can actually use Python, and that's the pandas library, isn't it, for the data cleaning?
Panda, yes.
Yes. Okay, TY, you can quickly unmute, please. In 1 minute, ask your question. In 1 minute, TY. Thank you. TY. Okay, seems TY is not on the call. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, okay, I've seen the question. I'd like to understand the line chart. Okay. So, the questions that you have, we are a community. We can, send our question into the community group, and then we can take it up from there. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you so much for your contributions. Chisom, please, are you still on the call?
Hi, Abisola. Hi, everyone. I'm still on the call. Thank you very much. I don't know if Thomas can quickly answer the question, or you want to respond to it on the chat. Have you stopped sharing?
Awesome. Okay. So someone asked you about the line chart, the one with the highlights for the years. So that was the other question from TY. Yes.
Okay. What do you want to talk about regarding the line chart? Should I share the screen again? so I can see. Let me share the screen.
Yeah, share your screen, and I think he or she wants to understand why the flow, understand the line charts, right?
Right? Yeah, this line chart here. I have like two of them here. So this is average crop yield by year. So like I said, I focused on 1990 to 2023 from 1990. So
Okay, Thomas.
what
Sorry.
Yeah.
He said it's not that one. Which one? Can you unmute? If you can speak, go ahead and unmute yourself and talk so that we don't waste much time.
This one here.
Okay, there is a line chart that highlights the years, and it went from 2020, went backwards. It went backwards again. No, not this.
So,
this. Yeah, this.
Yeah,
this one.
So I noticed
this one.
Yes. After I said the data from crude data actually came in months. So I can't possibly look at all the months. And because data it came in the what's it called? In the data type, in decimal, or should I call it in decimal, let me see decimal. So what I did, I find the average, the mean and the max to see the trend. But I noticed the trend wasn't okay. As you can see, it's not really okay. So I didn't really focus on for the mean, the max, and I noticed it's the same for you can see. They all look alike. So I didn't focus more on temperature. And for my condition analysis down here, I noticed the temperature is not really, it affected the crop yield, but not much like the average rainfall, volume of average rainfall per year. So that's why I actually focused on average volume of rainfall. So the more the volume of rainfall, the less will be the crop yield, because more volume of rainfall will bring about flood, and it will affect, it can cause erosion and all that. So that's why during the recommendation, I recommended that irrigation practices should be invested in. So that is the line chart is not really, I can't really, it's not really speaking, very well. So that's why I focus.
Oh, okay, I get now. So if you had used a drop down that extracted the months, it may have not skewed like this, because that is what I noticed.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the 5 presenters and the audience that stayed through. I know we've taken more than 2 hours scheduled for this call, but I believe it's really worth the time spent. So thank you very much for joining us. And this program is not going to end here. We're going to continue the conversation on our general group chat. If you still have questions, if you still have concern, if you still have anything or you want to add, please go ahead and ask on the group chat. I know the presenters, all of our presenters are there. They will be able to answer all your questions, and I'll also follow up after this conversation. So this presentation now is not going to end here. We are going to publish it on our newsletter coming up next month, so that others, people, we can have more eye on this, because data is one thing that can really help us in this country, especially in the area of climate change, in agricultural sector, even in all other sectors, right? So we'll continue the conversation in the chat. I also encourage each and every one of us to, take up challenges like this. And I know many of us may not really have attempted, because they feel the data collection is very hard and all of that, because I got a lot of feedback that we need to provide the data set. Like I said on the chat, most times as a data analyst, you may be required to go look for the data sets. They can just even give you the goal or the objective and ask you to look for the data set. So it's very important that, you know, challenge yourself. This kind of programs are avenue for you to challenge yourself, right? So that when you see or when you happen to be in a working environment that give you something like this, you'll be able to you know, tackle it without, you know, any issues. So thank you once again, and we are open to collaborations. We are open to partnership. If you know anything that would help us to grow as a company, please go ahead and tell us. I am always available to respond to all your questions and concerns on the chat. You can always send me a DM as well. So I really appreciate you all. I don't know if there is any question from the floor. I don't know if there is anything you want to say. Please go ahead and bring it up. We'll be glad to respond to all questions. So I think I will leave it to Abisola to, you know, round off. We don't have time for everything to cover everything we have on the program, but, you know, at least we were able to understand the most important aspect of the program, which is the insights and recommendations. So thank you very much. And if you feel there are other solutions, there are other solutions that were not captured by any of the presenters, please go ahead and, you know, send it to me, because like I said, we are not just going to leave it here. We're going to take it up further, right? And also the presenters are going to be tagged on our platforms as well. So further details will be, you know, communicated to us via DIMS and also on our chats. Okay, I saw a question. I got my own data. Okay, fine, thank you. So Abisola, over to you. And to our new faces, thank you so much for joining today. The conversation will continue. Thank you. So Abisola.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Chisom. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Like I used to tell people, the best way to learn, the best way to improve is by doing projects. Even personally, I'm working on some daily challenge that I share on LinkedIn. So this is like the best opportunity ever. So this is something huge. This is something great that Green Data Solution is doing for us. Please, let's not be laid back. Let's try and contribute. And other people are also, you know, working on this challenge. If you need to talk to somebody in the group, you know, be open to collaboration. I want to encourage us to take up challenges like this. It's good for our journey, for our career. So let's not downplay this kind of opportunity. So you can also follow me on LinkedIn. My name is Abisola Itunji on LinkedIn. I also love to connect with everyone. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you, Chisom. Thank you, Green Data Solution, for giving me the opportunity to facilitate this session. Thank you, everyone. So that'll be all from my end. Thank you once again. All right.
All right, Abisola, thank you for thanking us. Also follow Green Data Solution if you're not following us on LinkedIn. And very soon we are going to have our YouTube channel. So please subscribe when it's time. Okay, we have other amazing programs lined up for us that will benefit us, especially if you're new to this system, you will learn a lot. My name is Chisom Ibembere. Kindly follow me on Twitter as Chisom and also on LinkedIn as Chisom Ibembere. I'll see you in our next challenge, or I'll see you in the chat. We'll continue the conversation, like I said in our chat. Thank you very much. Thanks. And for the question I asked about green data, I am going to continue the conversation again. I'll give a response to that because no one answered correctly. Thank you.